I'm sure that you love to watch animes where the main character is in a dungeon, fighting against monsters, but at the same time he's extremely overpowered. So if you like the idea, stay with me because that's the type of anime that we are going to see in this video. I'm 𝐦𝐨𝐫𝐞, and without any further ado, let's get right into it. The Dungeon of Black Company. After hustling for many years, our main character finally became rich, and it was at that same time that he was transported to another world. At that new fantasy world, he started by working at a mining company, so he could pay the bills. And as you can imagine, he started broke, without any powers, but after exploring the dungeon, he made some friends, and also got some new powers that turned him overpowered. But don't you think that he's a hero that will save the world? No, that's not the case here. He will do everything possible so he can become rich again. And if you are still not convinced to watch this anime, let me tell you one more thing. As a good isekai anime, there is a monster that transforms into a little girl, so go watch it. Suppose a kid from the last dungeon boonies moved to a starter town. I'm not used to things that big, but let's go. Our main character belongs to a family of heroes that won't save the world, but he doesn't know that. So everyone on his family is extremely overpowered, and our main character keeps comparing his health to his family, so he thinks he's weak, but the truth is that he's not, he's also overpowered. But anyways, he lives in a small village, isolated from the rest of the world. But this will change, because he wants to study at school, so he will move to a big city with normal people. And that's how the story begins. On this new city, our main character will make new friends, and his friends will obviously be impressed by his powers. But our main character, he will still think that he's weak. Goblin Slayer. Before continuing, let me tell you that this anime has a lot of blood, and even some not consented love scenes. So if you don't like that type of anime, please go to the next one. And now, with that out of the way, let's start. The show starts with a priest going on her first mission, and her first mission is to go into a dungeon and kill some goblins. So, she, alongside with her group, decided to go to that dungeon and complete the mission, right? Yeah, that's what they did, or at least tried, because at the dungeon something unexpected happened, and the goblins weren't that easy to kill as they thought. The problem is that they weren't prepared to kill the goblins, so a tragedy happened and a lot of they ended up losing their lives. And also happened some other things that I can't tell you here. When almost everyone of that group had lost their lives, a strange guy appeared and managed to save the priest. We soon discovered that this guy is Goblin Slayer, a guy that only accepts mission to kill goblins. After saving the priest, Goblin Slayer, that is our main character, started to kill all other goblins that were in that dungeon, not even leaving the baby goblins alive. After completing the dungeon, our protagonist proceeded to the next mission, and the priest decided to start working with him. And if you think that this anime will be boring, because everything that our main character does is killing goblins, you are hella wrong. Because although yes, that's true that he will just kill goblins, the anime won't be boring at all, and there will be a lot of hard missions. And if you also would want to go into a mission, I have one that I can give to you. If you like isekai animes, after watching this video, make sure to watch this other one that I made. The hidden dungeon only I can enter. So let's see. Fantasy world, checked. Overpowered main character, also checked. Oh, and a childhood friend, checked. This anime has all that, but although you may think, Noir, the protagonist, didn't start overpowered. When show starts, he has a rare, unique ability, but he is still weak. And talking about the ability that he has, it is the Great Sage, an ability that can answer any question that he makes. Noir decided to ask the Great Sage how he could get stronger, and the Sage directed him to a hidden dungeon. After arriving there, Noir found the hero of the world imprisoned there. Unfortunately, she couldn't leave, so she decided to give some of her powers to Noir, and that's how he became overpowered. Furthermore, after receiving these powers, Noir decided to get stronger and find a way to free her. So, If you want to see an overpowered main character killing monsters in that dungeon to get stronger, while having a harem of girls that are in love with him, make sure to watch this anime. Death March to the Parallel World. If you like an isekai where the main character has a harem of girls and is overpowered, this one is for you, because that is exactly what this anime is about. Our protagonist is a programmer that was working on a game, and one day he went to sleep and woke up in a world similar to that game that he was making. When he woke up in that world, he was being attacked by a horde full of monsters, and he was obviously freaking out. But somehow he managed to use a powerful ability that spawned a bunch of giant meteors from the sky that killed almost all enemies. And as you may imagine, after killing all that monsters, he upgraded a ton of levels and became extremely overpowered. Buffery, I don't want to get hurt, so I will max out my defense. Another big name. And this one tells the story of a cute girl that started playing a VR MMORPG with her friend. And I know that you are smart, so you already realized that this girl didn't want to get hurt. So she spent all her initial points in defense, because this game is ultra realist and it emulates all senses that humans have in real life. So if the girl took damage in the game, she will suffer some pain, and she didn't want that. Therefore, this girl started accepting quests and obtaining very powerful skills and items, what made her become extremely overpowered, extremely fast. Although she didn't spend any point in attack, she will kill almost all enemies in one hit. So, if you don't want to get one hit by her, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and obviously, watch the anime. Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon? In this anime, gods descended to Earth to help humans completing all floors of a huge dungeon. And our protagonist is the man, 𝐦𝐨𝐫𝐞, a guy with white hair that starts very weak. But although he's weak, he has a rare ability that makes him grow and improve faster than anyone else. So, after some grind and almost losing his life a ton of times in the dungeon, he finally obtained new items, new friends, and also became overpowered. But as I said before, he starts weak, and although he improves faster than anyone else, it will take some time to get stronger. But within that time, he will receive the help of the stronger adventurer alive, that it's actually a girl, and the girl that he is in love with. And if you like romance animes, I made a video about the top 10 romance comedy anime that you should watch. So, if you are interested, make sure to take a look. So, I'm a spider, so what? Yeah, it is a little bit weird, but the protagonist of this story is actually a spider. But wait, let me tell you a little bit more of the anime, and you may be interested. Our main character was a normal high school girl, until the moment a huge magic exploded in her classroom. This made her, her friends, and even her teacher reincarnate into a magic fantasy world. And unlike her friends that were reincarnated as normal humans, our protagonist was reincarnated as a weak spider. And as if that wasn't bad enough, she was born in a dangerous cave with a bunch of powerful monsters. Although she was weak, she somehow managed to survive. And so she wouldn't starve, she also killed some monsters and ate them. And I will warn you that this part of the anime is kinda disgusting, but nothing serious in my opinion. So, after killing monsters, she upgraded her level, and even started gaining some powerful abilities. With that said, if you like isekai animes, where the main character starts weak and becomes overpowered, I don't see why you won't try this anime, because you may enjoy it. Sword Art Online. If you are starting watching anime, or if you are living under a rock and you don't know what this anime is about, I will tell you. A new VR MMORPG was released, and this game promised to be ultra realist, emulating all 5 senses that humans have. So, our main character that was a game enthusiast, obviously decided to try it out. He bought the game and started playing right in the first day that the game was launched. Everything was running smoothly, obviously, until something unexpected happened. All players discovered that they cannot leave the game, and the game master appeared to tell them some more great news. If they want to complete the game, they need to complete all 100 floors of the dungeon. Oh, and one more thing, if they die in the game, they die in real life. So our main character, a pro gamer, and in the game, a black swordsman, we'll obviously try to complete all 100 floors as fast as possible. And I know that a lot of people hate this anime, but a lot more people love it. So, if you didn't watch it yet, you should definitely take a look. In my opinion, it is a really good starting anime, so at least give it a try. Arifureta, from commonplace to world's strongest. And the name say it all. This one is also about a guy that starts weak and becomes overpowered. But this one is a little different. Our main character and his friends were transported to another world, and were asked to save the world from the Demon Lord. They soon started training and even going to a dungeon to become stronger. And it was in that dungeon, right in the first episode, that our main character was betrayed by one of his friends and almost lost his life. He fell alone into the depths of the dungeon, where the monsters are incredibly strong, and somehow managed to survive. Therefore, he will keep exploring the dungeon, and will even find a little vampire girl that was sealed there by someone. And after thinking a little bit, he decided to save her. They soon become friends and even fall in love with each other. So, if you fell in love with this video and want to watch more videos with more anime recommendations, here are 2 other videos that you can watch. And this is it for me guys, hope you enjoyed and stay well!